Hello and welcome back to the One United podcast. I'm joined as ever by Henry. Henry, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. You?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad. And we're delighted this week to be joined by Joe. You're probably known from All for United, Twitter at Acting Joe. Joe, how you doing?
I am unreal, lads. Thank you so much for having me on. I am very much excited to discuss the miserable win yesterday.
It's better than a miserable loss, isn't it?
Exactly. We'll take a miserable win over a miserable loss.
Absolutely. On that topic, then we'll start discussing the miserable win. Henry, now I know you're not happy about this at all, about the game, so I'll just let you have your weekly rant today.
Yeah, truthfully, I'm seething, to be honest with you, mate. I'm absolutely furious. And I can't believe we've come out of that with a 1-0 win. It's taken a retaken penalty to beat West Brom. So I've been in situations before where I'm stumped and I don't know where to go after we've lost. Like with the Besiktas game when we lost, I was like, what do we do? I'm in the same situation now. Where do we go from this when it's taken denying them a penalty and retaking one? We get gifted retaken penalties. I don't know. Like last year, that wouldn't have happened. It would have just been saved, end of it, that's it. But my word, this is actually unbelievable this year. I can't believe that we go and beat Everton and then go and put in a stinker. I know we won and 3 points is 3 points, but we put in a stinker against West Brom at home. West Brom, who are second favourites to go down. They're the team below, not below Fulham, but they're down there with Sheffield United and Fulham, and they will go down this year. They're not good enough to stay up, and we're kind of struggling against them. Had 63% possession, couldn't break them down. How can you not break down a team that? I mean, I give up. I know they came up from the Championship and they were good in the Championship, but there are levels. There are levels we should be hitting. We should not be relying on a penalty to beat West Brom. Seriously, and then people, Ollie Shagger 502 on Twitter will tell me that he's going to win the Champions League and the Premier League. Seriously, what the hell? We're not going to win anything with this manager. We can't put down a low block side.
Is that name taken, by the way, Ollie Shagger 352? Because I might take that if it isn't.
I'm not sure, mate. There's millions of them. They turn up every now and then and bomb him for good results, or actually. I just can't comprehend beating West Brom 1-0. I would rather be in the same situation. I know Chelsea drew against them, but they scored 3 goals in drawing against them. They scored 3 goals against the West Brom side. Didn't rely on penalties or, very kind of dodgy decisions with VAR. I mean, the Fernandes one, I know he might have won the ball, but I'm still not sure whether it was a penalty or not, where he brought down, I can't remember who he brought down, but again, we're relying on decisions that aren't in our hands to win games. We should be winning that game 3 or 4-0. It's simple as that. West Brom are not a good side. And people keep chatting to me about how Ollie's a fantastic attacking manager. We have now scored 8 less goals than Spurs this year, having played 1 game less. They're top of the league with Mourinho, the defensive manager that's so bad at attacking that, useless philosophy, poor manager. This was all what was said when he got sacked from United. He's finished. He's done. He's a useless manager. He is now top of the league with a side that's looking like they might actually go on and win the league. And we're languishing down 9th place, struggling for points against West Brom. And, I think in the last 4 games, we scored 4 goals. And 3 of those are against Everton. Lost 1-0 at home to Arsenal as well. So, and that Arsenal side is shit. I'm telling you, it is shit. It is useless. I don't know how people can lose to that team. They are useless. So I'm done.
Fair enough. Before I come to you, Joe, we'll get some comments up. Now we've got a little bit of a Joe fan club, a personal one from
Benji.
Ben.
Thank you.
And I would like to request that you stop because his ego doesn't need inflating any more than it already is.
Keep it coming, Benji. Keep it coming.
We've also got a comment from Jamie. Jamie, good to see you, and thanks for watching, and thank you even more for subscribing. We really appreciate that. Now, in the comment section, let us know what you thought about the win yesterday. Frustrating or just happy? Leave your opinions down below. But Joe, we spoke about it yesterday, didn't we, on All 4 United?
Yeah.
I don't think we were very happy with the win, but it's nice to get some points on the board, isn't it?
Yeah, look, yesterday's performance was miserable. I have a lot of thoughts on Mourinho as a coach. If we have a chance, I'll talk about that as well. Because I'm not sold by Spurs whatsoever. I'm sold by Son and sold by Kane, but that's it. I think the Arsenal will fall out with them soon enough. But on yesterday, I was very just disheartened. I felt let down because again, this famous thing of a low block team we can't seem to score against. We can't seem to do anything against them. But I do have a huge love for Bruno Fernandes because he is probably I think he's revolutionized penalty taking. Because I never understood why he did that hop and a leap beforehand. I never really got it. Why? I just thought it was his thing, his trademark. But it's actually genius because when he does that, the keepers are still anticipating where he's going to go, when he's going to kick it. So that's why they come off the line. That's why I can't remember the last time I've seen a penalty having to be retaken prior to him. We've seen his last 2 penalties that were saved have to be retaken. That's because of that thing. So the player is next level. Like ingenious, all right. I think the problem is if we didn't have the international break, I kind of feel the result would have been different this time around because I felt we were very good against Everton. Everton are a good side. They were on a bit of bad form. I can't remember, was Hammers playing against with them last time against us?
Yeah, he was against us. Yeah, but
yeah, he was playing. Yeah,
he wasn't fully fit though.
Yeah, so again, they're focused on Hammers, but we went 1-0 down. And we ended up beating them away from home, which I think as the season goes on and as the season was progressing at that point, it will become more difficult and will stay difficult. So I think that is good. We can't overlook that. I think if we didn't have the 2-week break, we would have gone in with that sort of form, but instead the players went off and COVIDed everywhere. Tella's got it again, then didn't have it. On their international break, you're going to break that rhythm that we had. So I'm trying to look at this as, why was Mata starting? Why was Matic starting? I don't mind Fred starting? Why were these players starting and Donny van de Beek wasn't starting? I feel it's because I'll only know this when we're playing Southampton and playing games going forward. It's because he knows there's so many games coming up that we are going to beat West Brom, which we made it far more difficult than we should have and made them look a lot better. But it was more important to have those players going forward than risking them. Now, in the same thing, why start Rashford? Because I think he knew he didn't have Pogba. Didn't feel Donny van de Beek could have started the game, and who else were we missing? Was there anyone else missing?
Mason Greenwood wasn't in the squad.
Mason Greenwood, of course. Mason Greenwood wasn't in the squad either. So I felt that dropping Rashford and putting in James, he probably felt that was too much of a stretch, and having the Rashford at 70% is better than having the Dan James at 100%. Now, this is only me hoping this is what the thoughts are. So when we're playing Southampton, playing Istanbul, whatever they're called, that it'll be a different lineup and everyone will be fresh and ready for those games. But it's hard to know that because it's the first game of this long run. So I'm hoping he's looking forward rather than whatever that lineup was yesterday. I love Juan Mata. I know people are calling for Juan Mata to be gone. I think Juan Mata is a brilliant squad player. I think the players love him, and he has so much match intelligence that he's perfect to come on 75 minutes or 60 minutes or great cover, but you don't want to see him start in a game that we need to win. You don't want to. 5 years ago, absolutely. Even 3 years ago, absolutely. But not anymore. So whenever his name is in the team sheet, as much as I adore him, and I think we all do, it just kind of makes you go, we really are in trouble. You know, that if we're going down there. Because who's after Juan Mata on the right wing? Fucking Lord Jesse Lingard. You know? So if Greenwood is missing, we know we're in trouble. So this is why Mourinho is doing well, is because he was backed. Why Solskjaer isn't doing well, because he hasn't been backed. And this is the same with Mourinho last time. I believe it probably was the same with Van Gaal. That our managers aren't back second season. Isn't it so funny when it doesn't work out for them?
Fair enough. You can't argue with that. I think the point about Mata is a very good one, because it's obvious in certain games that he's still got that quality, isn't it? We saw, especially in the latter stage of the Europa League, I think it was Copenhagen, where he pretty much single-handedly won us the game, didn't he? He had an absolute blinder, but there's also games like yesterday, where he just gets completely physically outmatched and he's very easy to deal with. But yeah, we mentioned, Henry, about how Pogba and Greenwood weren't in the squad
Yeah.
Now, Pogba played both games for France over the international break, unless they played all three, unless they played 3 games, but I'm not sure.
They played
Greenwood obviously wasn't on international duty, so he's had a long rest. Now, what do you make about their absences?
Actually, no, Pogba did play 3, I think. They played Finland, Sweden, and Portugal. So I think he played all of them. This whole thing, again, will drum up about how Pogba wasn't there, and everyone seems to go, we played poorly and we didn't have Pogba. Oh, okay, maybe he's good, and then he'll come back and he'll perform well, and everyone will go, yeah, he's a fantastic player, and then he'll have a poor performance. Everyone will go, he's shit again, he's shit, get rid of him. So I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. We missed someone driving forward from midfield. We had Matic and Fred on the pitch, which made absolutely no sense to me. You have 2 defensive midfielders. Which one of them is going to break the lines with a pass? None of them, because they pass sideways and backwards. That's their fucking job. So I am tired of this. Ollie might be a good tactical manager. He just hasn't been backed. Okay, fair enough. He hasn't been backed. But Mourinho managed to finish second with a side that was, I'd argue, worse than that side, and managed to win the Europa League as well. And people still said he's a crap manager afterwards. So people, I think, are clinging on to the history of, we love him at United because he's, he won us Champions League. That's fair enough. And he was a good servant to the club. But that was when he was a player, not as a manager. He, as a manager, you can tell it's not all there. You put a different person inside of this, in charge of this side, and you're seeing them win 3 or 4-0 against West Brom. They're a low block side. We couldn't break them down. We played 2 defensive midfielders until about 60, 70 minutes when we started to change it up a little bit, and then 82 minutes in we bring on Van der Beek again. Why not just start him with 1 defensive midfielder, break the team down early, go 2-3-0 up, and then bring him off? Isn't that an easier solution? We were so clearly desperate to sign a midfielder, we've gone and signed one. He's sitting on the bloody bench. He's good enough to start in that Dutch team. And that Dutch team, I can tell you, is better than this United side right now. Yeah. So if he's good enough to start there, why is he not good enough to start in this United side? I would rather he played on the right than Mata did. Mata in a 10 is fine for me. I like him in a 10. He can roam, but he is not a winger. He just not a winger. And the obsession with playing him on the right, he is slow. So when someone knocks a ball past him, when he's supposed to be defending, he's fucked. He's done. It's straight away. I think it was Ajay ran past him, just knocked a ball and ran. And I know he's got little turbo legs and he'll try and get back and stuff, but he is not that kind of player. He can't get back in time. He's not quick enough. So this obsession with saying, it was a good result because, after international break, I'm tired of the excuses. Everyone else played off the international break and they've all performed. All the teams that we expected to perform, like Spurs, maybe City didn't, but they've fallen off a little bit. So all the teams that are performing, that are supposed to perform, Spurs were brilliant. I'll say it now. They were brilliant. I know they didn't have many shots, but that's the Mourinho way. And it worked. He's won.
But do you wonder why it's United and City are the only teams that haven't performed?
Because they've got probably more international players than most of the teams.
They had no. City and United are the only English teams who had no pre-season. That they had, and everyone else had a series of games, and United had Aston Villa. I can't remember who City had, and if it was just if City were playing fine, and they were top 2 or whatever, I'd be saying, well, obviously, clearly there's something wrong. But the fact that it's both teams and it's across Europe. And it does, and I don't think people are really factoring that in, because I think we think footballers, it's been long enough, they should be up to the level they're supposed to be, but they're just not. I only found out about 15 minutes ago that prior to the Crystal Palace game, the Monday before the game, we had 4 senior players training, and the game was on Saturday or whatever day it was. And Palace had a game in which they won the week before, and I'm just saying that. Even though it's been a couple of 8 games in, we're now that's still going to be an effect. Not having a preseason, getting your fitness back up, getting used to playing with each other, and it's effective now where they're in training rather than trying to bring up new plays. They're just figuring out how to not concede, which they seemingly have done now because we seem a lot more solid now. We seem like we're defensive last season now, So now it's just about getting our creative players and getting that creative flow back. Because it kind of feels now. Sorry, go on there. Sorry.
I know. I was just going to say. I still think that argument. Yes, maybe it has a factor, but that argument does not make you beat West Brom 1-0 and put in a stinking performance, which it was. It was shocking.
Yeah, it was.
We can't excuse that from players. Rashford had a week off. I know he had a bit of a niggle, a bit of an injury, but I'm pretty sure United just said to Southgate, hold on a second, you're not having him. Simple as that. You're not having him. We don't want him getting injured. Simple as that. That's the right way to do it. There shouldn't have been an international break in the first place. It should have been a week off. That's 100%. How it should have been. Yeah. Nations League, it is important to a degree, but scrap it.
And especially, the most pointless thing was any international team that had a friendly, they might as well not matter now. So any team, any country that lost to another country, we should just pretend that game never happened because the international break doesn't exist.
So just because Ireland lost?
Oh, I wasn't even considering that, James. I was just saying in general. I think we all agreed there that whether Ireland were playing a friendly or not, that game didn't happen. Okay, cool. Okay, agreed. Fine. Thank you very much.
This argument is to me pointless. It really is, and players are used to this. Maybe not to this degree, maybe not to this level, but they're used to going through tough periods where they have a lot of games to play. Christmas period is always the worst period. Players get injured, stuff like that happens. Liverpool have been without Van Dijk, for a month now. About that, they're still sitting third in the league. Who's not fit for us at the moment? Who hasn't been consistently fit for us? Greenwood's been out of the squad for understandable reasons.
Yeah,
but other than that, who's not been fit? They're now missing Gomez and Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. These guys will make an impact, but they're still third in the league. They're still third in the league. We're not. We're ninth. We're struggling. We are struggling. We're 4 points off them. And people are saying, Liverpool have had a bad start to the season. They lost 7-2 to Aston Villa, and they're still above us in the league. So this theory for me is all, and James knows about this when I speak about it. Positivity FC. Everything has to be, everything's okay, as long as we're winning games, 1-0. I would rather we drew that game 3-3 than 1-0. Genuinely.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I think a win's a win.
A win is a win, but I want to score goals.
I agree.
The attacking manager that everyone thinks Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, I think so. I've got a little list of, so we've scored less goals than West Ham, Leeds, and the same as Brighton this year. Brighton, before this week, were close to sacking their manager because they were so poor.
But we have a game in hand, so we could be 5 goals behind. We'll get them back. We'll get those goals back.
We've scored 2 less than West Ham, same as Brighton, and 1 less than Leeds. And we have conceded more goals than Man City and Burnley this year. So this whole excuse thing of, it'll be okay because we're performing, okay. In the Champions League, fine. We're performing well in the Champions League. But in the Premier League, we can't do it. That was our first win at home since July in the Premier League.
But how many more goals have we conceded than Man City?
So Man City, we've conceded 14. Man City have conceded 11 with the same games played.
Okay. But in the same way, should you be putting we're talking about Man City having a bad season, we're discussing, and United having a bad season. But I'm telling you what the comparison is because of the lack of preseason, the lack of game time going into the year.
Okay. But Burnley were one of the best defensive teams last year to keep them up.
Yeah, but they're up. They're a flux. Sometimes they have a great season where they come 9th, sometimes they come 15th. It's.
Can I add as well that we've conceded considerably less than Liverpool and they're third.
But they've scored more goals. It's okay if you score the goals to compensate for the fact that they've still got a negative goal difference. I think we're on the same goal difference. Doesn't matter. They're third. Why can't people see this? If they win today, they go top of the league.
And if we win today, if we win our game in hand, we're 4 points behind them.
Yeah. So
that means we're 2 games away from overtaking them.
But do we look like overtaking them?
It doesn't matter. It's what's on the board.
We've now lost to Arsenal and Palace at home this year.
Yeah.
So the Palace game, I will say now, was and Spurs as well. The Spurs, people forget we conceded. Didn't we concede 6 against Spurs?
Yeah.
Yeah, we shipped 6 to Spurs. Aside a defensive, we shipped 6 to them.
Yeah.
So this whole idea of, a couple of wins will be in there. What has suggested to anyone that we're going to get those wins? We've now got West Ham. West Ham is a really tough game, I would say now, and Southampton coming up to.
Yeah.
2 really tough games. People will underestimate them as, they might be a little bit difficult. They're really tough games.
Yeah.
And if we do not win both of those games, forget it. People say, but if we win. What is suggested to anyone that we're going to win all these games?
Because it's been a mad season where anything has happened. Like, bring up other teams. City lose to Leicester 5-3. Leicester lose the following Monday 3-0. Yeah. There's nothing to say that West Ham won't fall apart. And like, it's going to happen sooner or later that these teams can't stay consistently doing what they're doing. So why not? Why can't it happen next week? Why can't we kick into gear? Because this happens when Solskjaer when his job is on the line. That's when everything comes together.
That happened against Everton, but then what happens now is every other week his job's on the line. So we usually lose 1 out of every 2 games, because every other week his job is on the line.
Yeah.
And we seem to perform. So what we'll do is we'll lose against Southampton and we'll beat West Ham, and everyone go, "Oh, he's a fantastic manager again." I don't know whether people can see it. It's the same cycle over and over again. Lampard had a transfer ban last year and finished on the same point.
He didn't have a transfer ban. He didn't, because he bought Kovacic, I can't pronounce his name, and Pulisic. Yeah, Kovacic and Pulisic. And then the transfer ban was up in January, and he chose not to buy anyone. So I
pre-agreed deals.
But they still came in that summer. So like, the transfer ban didn't affect them. Then Pulisic was bought in January.
On loan and then bought in January. But
he joined them in the summer, and then the other one, I just can't say his name. Came in the summer as well. So like, sorry that he was forced to play his vast amount of youth players that were excelling in the Championship and were ready to come up. He doesn't get away with it just because couldn't buy anyone.
I'm not saying that, but where are they now after spending some money and investing in their side?
Exactly. When the manager was given investment, then they start to regress.
But Solskjaer in his first season, correct me if I'm wrong, spent over almost 200 million.
200 million, and our defense improved dramatically.
Yeah.
And then what was his only goal? His only goal was to get top 4. That's what they wanted. And then what happened when they got top 4? Now he's left. He wanted Jadon Sancho, and instead he got 33-year-old Cavani last minute to replace him.
That's fine. And I've mentioned more than anyone else about how the Glazers have shafted managers before. But he invested in that defence. That defence this year has shipped 14 goals in 8 games.
But we have discussed the fact that when he came back.
Thank you, Waz. Thank you, Waz. That is so. We'll lose, and then people will go.
But again, why are you presuming we'll lose? I'm trying to be optimistic, saying I didn't say we will win our game in hand. I'm saying if we win our game in hand, we're 4 points off the top. Okay. Do I think we'll win the league? No, I don't.
No.
Do I think Liverpool are better than us? Yes. City better than us. Leicester better than us? Yes. Basically, everyone in the top 4, top 6 outside of Arsenal are better than us.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is Lampard did par last season, and he got given 250 million to improve his squad. Yeah. Solskjaer his only goal by the Glazers was to get top 4 football, and he said, "I want Jadon Sancho." Didn't happen. No. So when a manager isn't backed, the same with Mourinho, same with anyone, it's gonna end in failure. It's going to end up with frustration. Yeah.
This whole premise that Solskjaer is a fantastic manager, and I know you say if we win, but what happens if we lose? So hypothetically, okay, if we win those games in hand, we could be top of the league. We won't be, but we could be top of the league because everyone else could lose. If that happens, everyone else could lose. What in that West Brom game there suggested to you that we're going to win both of those games? Nothing.
But what I'm trying to say is, in this whole season, and the fact that like we have a performance like that against Everton, we have shown glimpses, and also what we were playing like last season, that the squad is capable, but it just has to get up to the standard.
Away from home, at home, nothing to me at home. That West Brom game felt like a defeat. Seriously.
Yeah, it was a gut punch, but we just have to hope that we can kick on from it. And that's it. That's all we can do, is just hope that we will continue to improve, to actually improve.
Yeah, Well, I might be more pessimistic than optimistic, but
that's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, personally, I think that sort of brings me down to reality a little bit, in the sense that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer his managerial record at other clubs is poor.
Doesn't matter.
Really poor.
It doesn't matter. I don't think that matters.
He got relegated with Cardiff and struggled to win the league with Mulder. When the biggest budget out of anyone in the league. So
Alex Ferguson got sacked from, where was he sacked from? St Mirren. No, St Mirren. He was sacked from St Mirren.
He won
the European Cup after he got sacked. He got sacked from St Mirren in 1977.
Yeah, okay.
Jurgen Klopp got sacked from Mainz. Not every manager has a perfect track record. Not everyone is Pep. Jose Mourinho was sacked from Benfica. They gave those managers. Ferguson, if he didn't win that FA Cup in the year that he did, the first trophy he won, he would have been sacked that year. He would have been gone. Yeah.
My dad was watching the games back then. He said he would have been gone if he didn't win that FA Cup. Simple as that. You were given 5 years back then. With Klopp, he's been given 4 years to rebuild Liverpool. That will not happen with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It will not happen. He will not.
It's not going to happen with any manager at United.
So my point is, if he's not doing anything with the side now, if we're every other week talking about how up and down United are, with the side that we've got, and with the what we've spent on the defence before with Maguire, we've now bought Telles. We've got that back four of Lindelof, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and Telles. That costs almost 200 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Plus De Gea, obviously he didn't cost very much, but his value is probably about 50, 60 million now. You're looking at a defence that's one of the biggest kind of. We've spent the most money on it, basically, apart from City.
Yeah.
Okay, so the money that he spent does not equate to our league position.
But what I'm trying to say, I know what you're saying, that we've shipped how many goals this season so far. But like I said already, same as City. Like, the fact that we've had no preseason, the fact it's taken so long for the team to gel again this season and get the fitness, I think that's a huge factor in it. And I'm not here, I am just looking for the best for a club. I'm not Ollie in or Ollie out. I'm just saying this season is an absolute insanity. And James, there's a comment there that is really annoying me. How can we purchase 120 million Sancho when we've been financially hit? That is absolute bullshit. We have not been financially hit. That is just, no, we haven't. That is the Glazers putting that out there. They have taken 1.3 billion. I'm the first to say about the Glazers being arseholes. But we and James, we had Kieran on the podcast, and he said that we have been financially hit by this. We've lost in terms of ticket revenue that we get in the club. No one else by Chelsea, who have got a billionaire owner, has spent that much money that they would normally when it's not COVID hit. But the fact that they're taking more money out of the club in January does not help at all. But that's what I mean.
120 million would have been doable. I seriously don't.
I really do think it is, because we are the wealthiest club in the world, and we can afford to be hit with this. We're fine. We can, and no matter what, even if we have to take a loan, it can be furlonged or whatever the fucking phrase is, and it can be added to our already outstanding debt. We could have afforded that deal. That is the Glazers backtracking and being like, oh, we want it, but this bloody COVID. We could have got him 120 million. For Sancho will be the difference just playing terrible to good versus relegation side. The problems are much deep-rooted. Like, we could have, with Sancho was a top choice. I would have judged Solskjaer more harshly this season if we were playing the exact same way and not being more effective if we got the only person he really wanted in. I would be a lot more negative if we were in the same position now. I'm not saying Sancho would have came in and changed everything. I just think it's the fact that we didn't get him and he was the only one he wanted. I think that's a huge issue. That was it, and it looked guaranteed. I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
With Solskjaer, this whole never-ending debate about whether he's a good manager will continue until he gets sacked, which he will. He will get sacked because the performances aren't good enough. That at the weekend was the epitome of this year was the epitome of what we've been like this year in the Premier League. It was against you see little decisions that do my head in. So in the Arsenal game, it took 80 minutes to bring Scott McTominay off the pitch. We had two defensive midfielders on for 80 minutes and we were 1-0 down. Any other manager would have changed it 65, 70 minutes in. That suggested to me, if we can get a goal, I'll take a draw. That's what he wants, his job to be safe over winning games for United. Because if he lost that game 2-0, it would have been worse. But if he draws that game 1-1, we can go, oh, well, we played okay. We just got a bit unlucky. So this whole idea that he is going to stick it out and do well at United, Pep Guardiola, the reason why I didn't bring City into all these arguments is Pep Guardiola won trophies at City, has won trophies at City. He's won 2 Premier Leagues, if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
2 Premier Leagues, an FA Cup and a League Cup, at least. So, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at United got knocked out in the semi-finals of the Europa League, which we should have beaten Sevilla. I know they're a good side, but this year they've been awful this year. They've fallen off their like 6, 7.
I'm not, again, Pep Guardiola is a better manager than Solskjaer. Jurgen Klopp's a better manager than Solskjaer. But when I say this, if you don't back your manager, they're going to fail. I would be, and every season, Guardiola is given a blank check to buy whatever players he wants.
Apart from Poch, never back Spurs. Average net spend of something like 16 million at Spurs.
But I think part of that was, well, that's Daniel Levy free as well. But
it is, but he wasn't backed and he got to a Champions League final. That's a sign of a good manager to me.
Yeah, it didn't win.
Had nothing,
but also won nothing as well.
Okay, 1-0, but will Solskjaer win anything?
Again, we don't know. We don't know. I can't see into the future, so I can't tell you yes or no.
Yeah. So I just can't. I seriously. I said.
I would be far more negative about Solskjaer.
Yeah.
Is if he was actually backed, and it's not just Solskjaer. It's Mourinho. It's everyone. Like I said, every manager wants to go into the second season when the board have decided no, we don't want to do the switch anymore. We're going to get someone else in. They don't back them, and then they just leave them to see how long they go. I've said this before. I've said this in Off United. The 12th of December will be Solskjaer's last game.
I reckon it might be earlier. We lose to Başakşehir and Southampton or West Ham, and he's done. Lose to Başakşehir at home. I would call it there, seriously, because they are shit. They're like, I think they're still like 7th or 8th. They got beaten yesterday again, I think. So we cannot afford to lose that game. And you watch us put another stinker and get an 89th minute penalty and win the game. And then everyone will be going, how fantastic Solskjaer is. I really don't know why you keep saying everyone talking about how great Solskjaer is, because it's such a mixed bag. It's some people who are lunatics saying they love him. Some people saying lunatics to hate him. But the majority, the 75% in the middle, are just taking it game by game. So I really don't think the people on Twitter are the people keeping him in his job. I think the Glazers are happy with the fact that he just sits back and says nothing about them, and
no manager's ever going to say anything about them.
No, but Mourinho did. Mourinho turned around and said, I haven't got the players I want. They sacked him. So,
well, he was going to be out the door anyway. I think we all felt that.
Well, we'll see what happens. But I'll come back to this. I always say what I say, and I reckon I'll come back to this in 6 weeks' time after I reckon we will lose like 3 out of the next 7 or 8 games. I can't see us winning against Southampton, especially. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Listen, as much as I've enjoyed sitting and listening to you two arguing, it's definitely been probably the most entertaining episode we've had so far, I think. But we did say we were going to try and finish in time for the Liverpool game, and it's about 15:15 now. Yeah. So, Joe, massive thanks for coming on.
My pleasure, lads.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been brilliant to have you and offer some friendly debate. And Henry, as ever, thanks for joining us. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thank you for contributing with your comments as well. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.